Good morning, folks. Yeah, Huffy art bike update. It's still a Huffy. It still looks like junk. We ditched the 7-speed derailleur. I don't know what I did with that. Probably put it in the junk pile. And we took this Shimano deore XT and we bolted. The bolt that was with the Shimano is the same thread that goes into this Schwinn hanger. So we took a Schwinn varsity hanger. And this looks like it's going to work. It's a little close. I'm hoping with the chain installed, it'll kick down away from that gear. I do have a 5-speed freewheel on order, and that might help as well for the clearance needed. I don't think we're going to be able to run a 6-speed. You can see that little derailleur hanger bolt right there, and it's way too tight. I think we're going to definitely have to put a 5-speed on this. I ordered one, it's coming. But I think this derailleur is going to work fine. It's in decent shape. I don't know why this isn't on one of my other bikes. Probably because it's a long throw. And I never had the holder for it until now. So if it doesn't work on this bike, it may end up on a Schwinn road bike of some sort. Or what I call a Schwinn road bike, which doesn't really go on the road very much. Okay, so yeah, it's still a piece of junk. It still looks terrible. Today we're going to pound these out. I don't think these are salvageable at all. There is a way to chuck them up in the lathe and skim cut over them, but I don't think this is ever going to happen again for these. The lathe technique is just for polishing ones that are near the edge of their service life, and this rough pitting, and that is at the end of its service life. Take it from me. Okay, so we did part out the rest of that crappy Jamis mountain bike, and we got some V-brake parts, bunch of V-brake stuff. And I'll save it. You know, V-brakes. And they're okay. And I got these cheapest Shimano shifters in the world for V-brake. Combo shifter brake lever. I hate these, but the reason I'm saving some of this stuff is because occasionally people bring me mountain bikes for me to fix. It's not my bag. It's really not my bag. You know, they do bring them to me to fix, and I will fix them. But, you know, friends, I don't advertise for it. So, but I will save all this stuff. And these forks are blown. I might just save the spacers and bearings and just the parts here and chuck that in the scrap bin. Although it does have a cool Norway sticker on it, I guess. Norge. Avoid the Norge. Okay, nice 27.2 seat post. A crappy, very uncomfortable seat. A pair of bars that, you know, they're just generic steel mountain bars, but, you know, they got a decent bend to them. You know, they're not going on that Huffy, but I'll save those. A bent Outback Bikes drink holder, water bottle holder, some Velo grips, a nice clamp. That's kind of a big one. One used cable and a bunch of bolts that go into the frame. I always save those. So that's about it. This is just going to get filtered into the parts bins. Like I say, I don't really do mountain bikes, but it's nice to have some mountain bike stuff laying around. Actually, these shifters could work on my wife's bike if hers ever go bad, but these are kind of these are way overcomplicated. You know, if you could just break the V-brake system off of there and use the levers, I don't think that's going to happen. You would have to be a whiz with a hacksaw or a zip disc, or I don't think that unbolts. I think it's all one piece of cast conglomeration. Okay, and that's the update. I did get some washers for the back wheel. They help. I don't know if it's going to help on this side, but they help. They keep everything happy in there. I got to put that on. So today it'll just be 1 second for you, but I have other work to do. But later today, we'll pound this, we'll vacuum all this, maybe pound it out, and God, it's so bad in there. And we'll see about fitting some. We might put a pair of Schwinn cones in there. Races. They usually don't fit Huffy. You have to machine them. We'll see. I'll pound those out and we'll see. Those are not, that's not something I can service. I don't think any amount of spinning in the lathe and cleaning up with some emery cloth is going to make that whole again. Okay, so yeah, this is the update. Nothing happening under here. There's nothing happening under there. Okay, I'll see you guys in 1 second of your time, and then we'll be putting some cranks in or something. Okay, hey, have a good day. Keep it all mellow. Greetings, folks. Okay, 81 Huffy mountain bike update. Yeah, we found some better cones. These obviously were not acceptable. Yeah, that was some problems. I don't think these will ever be acceptable. And that's that one. Yeah, we found some better stuff. Fred actually donated this gear to me. It's a 40 tooth. It's a skinny one for 5-speed chains or 10-speed or whatever. It is the skinnier sprocket. It looks like Schwinn. I've already gummed it up, but it's a 40 tooth. He bought a big stack of them, and he decided I could have one. Thank you, Fred. And we got rid of the other deore derailleur. It just wasn't working. And this one is a super cheap one, but it should work. And we got a freewheel coming that's 5. And this gets from 5 to first, no problem. This is just a shop-used chain I threw on there. And these bearings aren't even greased. It's just a dry fit to see if it was going to shift and run, and then it does. So I think the next thing is we're going to tear it all down and paint it, or I might try to fit the back brake a little bit and see if that's going to actually work, because you know, if you're running a 5-speed freewheel, you got to have brakes somehow. All right, so let's run it through a little bit and make sure it actually works. I have already, but you guys got to see what's going on. Okay, so there's 5th, 4th, 3rd. No, it's still 4th. There's 3rd. That's a little poppy. It's a used chain that shouldn't be used on this style of freewheel. And there's 2nd. And there's 1st. It'll be a lot smoother once we get the 5-speed freewheel that's coming in the mail. And a good, decent chain that's not like from a Schwinn 10-speed from 1971. And it'll actually mesh with that freewheel. That freewheel's a mountain freewheel, so it's giving it problems. This is just a test to see if this will work with 5 speeds and the chain will be in line. And I think we're going to be fine. What's going on there? What is going on there? Oh, I see. Yeah, just a test. I think we're going to be fine. Oops. Yeah, it's a little sticky on here too. It doesn't quite like it. I think with a new chain, we'd be doing pretty good. Yeah, it's popping off of here. It's not quite liking this 40 tooth because this chain is not really made for it. We'll figure it out. We'll get a better chain, better 5-speed, and we'll dial it in. But for now, we're going to tear it all down and paint it and make an art bike out of it. But before we paint it, we have to either put a decent bead along here, and I'm hesitant to do that because that's brazed on, and I don't want to contaminate the MIG weld and burn through this tube. I think what I'm going to do is make another whole plate on this other side. It'll be like a sandwich wall thing, and I'll just MIG weld it on there really lightly, and then I'll put a spacer in between that and the other one. Should work out perfect. Yeah, like I say, the paint's not coming back. We're just going to make it an art bike. It's going to be great. You guys are going to love it. Okay, back to real work. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got to work. Sorry. It's unfortunate, but I'd love to play on bikes all day. All right, be positive. You know, do what you got to do. Get out there and work on your stuff. It's all going to be great in about 20 years. All right, be good, folks. Hey, we're back for a second. Yeah, I forgot to show you guys this. These cranks are obviously bent, and they're off of like a 69 Huffy's girls bike. I parted out a while back, and the only reason I saved them was to show you guys what Huffy's idea of holding the gear on was. There's no threads in that. There's no threads in that. It is smooth. There's no threads there. No threads. You put the gear on, and you press this on. Here it goes. You get what I mean. This kind of goes on there. And put that in further. That was Huffy's idea of how a gear should be held on. There's the peg for the gear. There's the inner race. And then this did it all. This adjuster here on this thread, this left-hand thread, that did it all. Like that was supposed to keep everything in line. There's no threads there. These are Huffy cranks. They even say HM, Huffy Manufacturing. Pretty sure that that's a pair of Huffy cranks. I remember parting the bike out. Yeah. That was, could be 74, 2 of 74. Not sure. Yeah, I think this came off of a late 60s girls bike. Anyway, that was Huffy's idea of what's okay. I mean, I'll give them their due. They did machine it pretty good. It is a tolerance fit, but that's not holding any gear on. You're not adjusting anything to a fine degree. It's just pressed on. There's gears just slapping around there. When you pedal backwards, the gear is going to notch on that peg every time. And that's just not happening. Anyway, Huffy, tighten it up and go. I thought I'd let you guys know about that. And why am I working on a Huffy? I don't know, guys. Look at this little mini spot of brazing. It's great. Look how uneven these are. Look at that. One's high, one's low. Stop complaining and get it to run. Okay, see you guys later.